You will never amount to anything. We shall see,
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Zen from Zen Multiverse, and I hope you're having a great day. So today on Powers Discussed, we are going to get into the who and the powers of Subzero. Now, Subzero, for the most part in our discussion, we're going to talk about just his powers, but also a little bit about the history. Now, when it comes to Subzero, there have been many Sub-Zeros, right? Sub-Zero is part of the Lin Kuei. Now, the Lin Kuei is a ninja assassination-based organization, okay, that has been in its inception for like thousands of years, right? So it's a clan that's been passed on and so on, right? And think about the name Sub-Zero as a title that's also been passed on, right? To those who have proven themselves worthy to become the next Sub-Zero. Now, that name implies a couple of things, okay? Now, from what we know from the history of the Mortal Kombat games, there have been two iterations of Sub-Zero that we know of. And the first happens to be Bihan, which is the one that we're introduced to in Mortal Kombat #1. Okay. Now, that character, we got a little bit a richer history when he appeared in Mortal Kombat Mythology's Sub-Zero. There we knew about, his mission, right? And also his the betrayal that's been put upon him, and also his transition into a character named Noob Saibot. And then later on in Mortal Kombat 2, the video game, we were introduced into Kuai Liang. And Kuai Liang is the brother of Sub-Zero. Now, both characters possess the ability of cryokinesis or cryogenesis. But let's go with the former of cryokinesis. What that truly means is it's not that he just has the ability over cold, right? That implies when we say the ability to just control cold, that means anything that's cold, you can control it, right? That's not really his power. It's often misjudged or misunderstood, right? What he's actually doing is he has a psionic ability, right? A mental ability to slow down potential kinetic energy, right? Or kinetic energy rather, okay? That means atoms that are in motion, he has the ability to slow them down, okay? That's pretty much everything, right? Now, when we think about that, um, he has the potential to slow things down on a psionic level. That's pretty much anything in his vicinity, right? The range of how far he can go is determined by the strength that he has, right? But that also means how far can his mental psionic link to the atomic structures within, what he's looking at, right? Or where he needs to reach, how far can he slow down things, right? That's what it truly means, okay? The reason why I mentioned cryogenesis earlier is because he does have the ability to create cold as well. But what that simply means is that he's utilizing any kind of H2O within the realm of where he is standing, or his diameter, right, where he's standing. And again, how far can he control that psionic link to then slow down atoms to then create a cold, right? Um, we're not too sure about the range, right? We can surmise that it's pretty far, right? Um, that in Mortal Kombat mythologies, he does have a move, right? I think it's like Polar Blast, and in his Polar Blast, he's able to harness, right, the cold and slow down the atoms within the area to then expound upon a certain diameter, right, or a barrier of sorts, right? So it can go pretty far, but his powers are that, right? It's the cryokinesis itself. But how far can his cryokinesis go? It comes in a myriad of different ways that he can utilize it. It's not just about slowing things down and then freezing them. He can also form areas into things that he wants, right? Into weapons that he wants, into a sword, into an axe, into a dagger, right? He could even freeze the ground and utilize it in order to slide to maximize his martial art, right? And his assassination ability. He's quite capable in his ability to utilize the cryokinesis, right? Um, one of the things that we have also seen him do, right, is create a form of armor, right? In terms of utilization of the cryokinesis, which also begs a different type of power, right? Is invulnerability to cold? Full invulnerability, no. We could probably, I think a better word to use is tolerance to the cold. He has high levels of tolerance to the cold in terms of his body, and that's pretty much it, right? And it makes sense, right? If you're able to command the elements, right, so to speak, right, quote unquote, because it's really the psionic link to then slow down kinetic energy, he should have some kind of tolerance to what he's able to slow down because he's around the cold quite a bit, right? Makes sense. So that's pretty much Sub-Zero in his totality in terms of his powers and a little bit about his history, right? Uh, Now I know that I did get a little bit confusing when I mentioned the two Sub-Zeros, right? Kuai Liang and also Bihan. Bihan is the first Sub-Zero that we're introduced to until Mortal Kombat 1 and also Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero, which is a phenomenal game in itself. Um, and I did mention that through the Nether Realm, and if you play Mortal Kombat Mythologies, you'll see that um, he does transition, right, into a darker side. And through the events of another character, which I'll do another Powers Discussed on, named Scorpion, Hanzo Hasashi, uh, he was assassinated. Sub-Zero was assassinated and then made a deal, right? He made a deal with um, a character named Quan Chi. And Quan Chi basically um, turned him into a wraith, okay? And this living wraith then became a noob Saibot, which was later revealed to be the brother of Kuai Liang, which is Sub-Zero. It gets really deep, right? Especially with the whole there's a lot of treachery going on, and the treachery is mostly by Quan Chi, which is a sorcerer character, right? I'm getting a little bit off because Mortal Kombat is just a phenomenal story that has really transitioned throughout the years really well, right? For lack of better words. So anyway, that's Sub-Zero. That's kind of Bihan and and Kuai Liang. Sub-Zero, my favorite character of Mortal Kombat. This is Zen from Zen Multiverse, saying peace, love, and prosperity. If you enjoy my content, then come back for more and share the video with like-minded people so we could keep discussing about some of our favorite characters and their powers. Later, everyone.
Finish him!